Alright everybody, I'm here with Blessed Tarot Cards, and I was thinking, I've only been doing the shorts for a while, so I'm like, maybe I should give you guys a little bit of a longer reading since you're subscribed and all. So we'll see what's happening for the month of July. It's going to be the new financial year, so maybe some good financial things will show up, maybe some love, who knows? But we're about to find out, aren't we? So, I'll deal you some cards and we'll see what's happening. Alright, already some interesting cards showing up here, especially to start off. Ooh, look at this. Seems like you've got some good cards showing up. Look at that, just all major. Straight down the bottom, another major. So, to start off, we'll have a look at this Judgment card here. So, Judgment is going to represent you reflecting back and looking at things that have happened in the first half of the year. I feel like there could have been some kind of major experiences, maybe that were a little bit traumatic for you, kind of something that had a really big effect on you emotionally, and maybe you got a little bit hurt by these things. But since you were hurt about it, you didn't really manage to get over it completely yet. So this is a sign that you're going to have to go back and actually revisit this bad experience in your head, not actually in real life. And you're going to have to come to terms with what actually happened and start accepting what's happened, because that's something that's holding you back at the moment. And obviously you don't want to be held back in life. You're someone who has a lot of potential to succeed. And we need you at your full strength to be able to kind of help people. I'm guessing you're like quite a caring person, someone who wants the best for others. And if you're not at your strongest, you won't be able to help others for their best. So that's what we want. So go back and try and come to terms with what's been happening lately. And I think you'll be fine after a while, but it will take some meditation, it will take some journaling. You will have to think about it a bit, but it will end up okay. Alright, so next we have a very interesting card. We have the Two of Cups. So as we see here, this is a new bond that's going to be forming. For those of you in relationships, it's going to be a new close friendship, or maybe you are going to start falling for someone else, which may or may not be a good thing, but for those single people, this is definitely a good sign here. Alright, we'll look at some of the other cards to see what they're going to be like. I do see like a couple of cards here, actually, that can kind of represent this happening. But yeah, there's going to be someone, they're probably going to show up in the next it's supposed to be the next month. This is a July reading, but it could be like a little bit after that. But I feel like I'm seeing the Emperor here. This is someone who's going to be quite kind of dominant personality. They're going to be very strong, successful. They're going to be the leader type. They're someone who's fine with taking like the lead in situations. They're going to be organizing things and making things happen in your life. You're not going to have to be the one who's taking control here. Although at times you do want to be in charge, for the most part, this person is going to make things happen for you, and you're not really going to have to worry about sorting things out. They'll tell you what they want, you can tell them what they want, and it's going to be kind of like a straight out and forward thing. And it's going to work quite well. I also see the Magician down here. So this is someone who's probably you're going to meet doing something new. It's a sign that you have a lot of creative power in you, and while you're using this creativity, seems to be when you're going to meet this new person. So if you're not using your creativity at the moment, you need to get out there and start doing it. It's a shame just to not use what you have inside of you when that's like a strong part of your personality. I'm sure you're imaginative. You have a good imagination. You can kind of think of new things that you could be doing. When you're doing new things, you come up with great ideas, even if you don't always follow them. So when you kind of start to do something new with your life, that's when you're going to start forming this new bond with this new person. All right, next we've got the Eight of Cups. Now, as we see here, this is someone who's walking away. And this is a sign that you may be in kind of some sort of relationship, or friendship, or a family member or something. They're being very toxic towards you. We see with the Six of Swords here as well, this journey that you've been on with this person probably isn't the most positive. It's just you've been with them because you kind of felt like you had to be with them. It kind of feels like it's a chore to actually be with them now, and that it's not a good relationship that you have with them, and you need to leave. It's going to be the best for both of you if you stop being in contact with this person, because it's really not a good sign if you stay with them. These good things that are showing up down here are not going to happen if you stay around these people who are just holding you back in life. And unfortunately, you're actually holding them back as well in a way. Although we'd never like to admit that we're holding other people back, the fact that you two are both kind of like not good for each other or not good to be around each other, it's a sign that, yeah, if you both move apart, then it's going to be okay. Now, after that, with the Knight of Wands, it seems like we are going to be a bit hurt by this leaving this situation that we're in, because we've known this person for a while. And although we know it's going to be good in the end, there's going to be a little bit of hurting. And it also comes back to the Judgment card over here. Once this happens, you're going to have to kind of deal with the situation emotionally. You can't just be in denial about your feelings about it. You can't just try and like get over it as quick as possible. You're going to have to go through a little bit of a healing process to get over this kind of friendship or relationship or family ship that you've walked away from. And it's going to happen, but you just have to realize that there is a little bit of hurt here. And see, once you've gone through these things, that's when the sun shows up. That's when all the when the positivity in your life just shines through. You're going to start to look at things in a new light. Everything's going to be making you happy. You're going to see wonder in things that you've not really concentrated on or looked at before. And obviously this is a great sign. Some other things that you may have been worried about or not sure about, they're going to start to become very clear to you. And it's just going to make your life a whole lot better. So for this to happen, of course, we've got to get over the things that have been troubling us, get away from toxic friendship. And once we've done that, we're going to see things good in a positive light. We're going to form new bonds, and it's going to be with someone who's kind of quite powerful person, I think, here. But in saying that, before you find a bond with this person, you're going to have to concentrate on yourself. And this is saying that you need to learn to be in control of yourself a little bit better. Because although a lot of the time you just have some of those moments where you kind of just lose control of yourself and you kind of go back into old habits and you're not being completely disciplined with your life. And this is a sign that you really need to focus on the discipline. It's one of the things that's stopping you from getting your potential as well, because you have lots of the great ideas. With the Magician here, you're very creative, imaginative, and you're good at forming bonds with people. But the fact that you don't push yourself to do these things is what's holding you back. If you just push yourself a little bit harder, then the good things are going to happen. It's a great time to start creating. Try and start something new. Something that you've wanted to do for a while, that you've been putting off. Get into it, because now's a great time for that. So, the last couple of cards. The World. The World represents mastery, and it also represents success. But it also represents travel as well. So if you are thinking of going on a trip, this is a great time to start planning it. Well, not right now. Once you've actually dealt with getting away from these like toxic influences in your life and dealt with traumatic experiences, then it's time to start planning. Don't try and start planning a trip when you are still thinking about these other things, because that's just going to distract you from getting over these. You're going to use the trip as a distraction, and you're not going to enjoy it as much as you would as if you've gotten over these situations and experiences. Traveling without these people in your life is going to be a lot better. Traveling in a positive, happy mood is going to be a lot better. And traveling in a mood where you've met someone and are happy is going to be a lot better. But it's also a sign of mastery. So if you've been working on something really hard, or if you think you should have been working on something really hard and you haven't been putting the time in it, then start being disciplined and get into it. Now's the time for learning. Now's the time for completing things. So make sure you're not being lazy. Get into it. And lastly, we've got the Wheel. Now this card's pretty simple. This is changing luck. So your luck's going to get a lot better. And see, we can't have all these good things happening without you dealing with the bad things in your life first. So you can't avoid that. Make sure that all the bad things that you're trying to avoid at the moment, you start confronting them and making things happen with them, because that's what's holding you back in life at the moment. That's possibly what's causing negative emotions to show up unnecessarily in life. Maybe you're getting angry, maybe you're getting frustrated, maybe you're getting anxiety a bit more than you really should, because you're holding on to traumatic experiences and being around toxic people. So get away from them. There's good things coming ahead. Just sort out your problems and everything will be fine. Thanks for watching and have a good month.